Caloroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. I'm going to start with a long clip. I usually don't play a clip this long, but it is far and away the best thing out there today. Kevin Spacey has revived his House of Cards character Frank Underwood. Why would he do that? To promote Tim Dillon's new comedy special. Makes a lot of sense to me. Let's listen.
You podcasters think you've inherited the kingdom.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to call you back.
Whispering in ears, swaying elections, spinning the truth like it was cotton candy, when in fact you're nothing but a bunch of clowns juggling boner pills and hair tonic.
Frank Underwood? I thought you were dead.
I'm as dead as John McCain.
He is dead.
Excuse my ignorance, I meant Herman Cain.
He's also dead.
Dean Cain.
To be honest, I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because I'm back. And that's why I need you to go on your little podcast and say this.
I don't do political endorsements.
I think you're going to do exactly as I ask, Mr. Dillon. DoorDash orders made from inside a 5-star steakhouse. While at a hotel in Milwaukee in 2023, you called a Taco Bell just to talk. And you once paid $6,000 to have a Carvel ice cream cake overnighted to a theater in Norway and then returned it for a refund because it wasn't Cookie Puss.
Jesus Christ, Frank, I'll read it. But first, you gotta plug my comedy special.
Oh, Jesus.
It's good. I filmed it in Austin.
I don't care if you filmed it on Mars with Elon Musk. I'm not here to help you.
These photos you gave me, I've posted them all. I'm on the internet. We don't have blackmail, we have content. We're all demons from hell.
You son of a bitch. There is no limit to your duplicity, to your pandering, to your shameless and desperate desire to cling to relevance. You are...
I'm what?
My kind of bastard. You have my endorsement, Mr. Dillon.
Well, I appreciate that, Frank, and I read ads for Morgan & Morgan Law Firm. I'm sure I can endorse the Daily Wire's new musical.
It's really good. Oh, by the way, which network is your comedy special on?
Netflix.
You foul, lonesome, evil little cockroach. But I love it.
I made a few minor edits there for language. I'm mad that I could have had this in yesterday's show. I had seen Tim Dillon's tweet, but the text of it was, hey, watch my new special, so I just assumed he shared the trailer. I didn't click on it, and then I was like, oh, I missed out on this. What a fantastic job. Why Kevin Spacey did that? I don't know. How Netflix is going to feel about it? I don't know. And I say that because if you put on Netflix and they promote House of Cards, they never, ever, 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 never, never, ever, never show Kevin Spacey. They act like he wasn't even on the show. I enjoyed Tim's special. It's a perfectly nice 41 minutes. Constant entertainment. At no point am I like, oh my God, this is the greatest special ever, but at no point was I bored either. It moves along for 41 minutes. It's like Tim strung together a bunch of material he had sort of worked out on his podcast, which is great. I like his podcast a lot. And it therefore makes my top tier of comedy specials of 2025. It's already April 17th, and boy, it has not been a good year for comedy specials. Right now, the top tier is number 1, Bert Kreischer's Lucky, and if Lucky is the best special of the year, that's not going to be a good year. And then Tim Dillon's I'm Your Mother is the number 2 special of the year so far, according to one idiot in his basement recording a podcast. I have in my middle tier Roy Wood, Ari Shaffir, and Gabe Iglesias, and I have nothing else on the list yet. Fourth quarter tends to be when many of the bigger specials come out, so we'll see, but a really slow start to 2025. Anyway, a recommendation from me on Tim Dillon, I'm Your Mother on Netflix. You should watch it. Outkick went with this review headline, Comedian releases must-watch offensive comedy special Woke Losers Will Hate. That's a great headline. They point out Tim Dillon will make fun of absolutely anything, and he's a great example of what comedy's supposed to be. Nothing should be off limits. Say offensive jokes and don't give wokes a single inch. That's the mindset that has made him a star. And then tap the brakes on this next part. And his new special is a masterclass. His new special is fine. His new special is pretty good. It is not a masterclass. Tap the brakes, Outkick. The Resurrected Just for Laughs is starting to announce some things. They announced Roast Battle Canada, and the galas have been renewed and will return to the 2025 Just for Laughs Montreal Comedy Festival this year, July 16th through the 27th. I think I'm going to go up there, see if I get hassled at the border a little more than I have in the past. Usually they're like, come on in. We'll see. Roast Battle Canada judges Russell Peters, Sabrina Jaylees, and K. Trevor Wilson. That's a great lineup. The series brings together Canada's edgiest comics for a showdown. The galas will return. No names announced yet. We got a little information about the Roast of WrestleMania, which is taking place Sunday. Tony Hinchcliffe, part of that. Not many details known, and it is not going to be televised, supposedly. But they did announce Gabriel Iglesias is now part of the Roast of WrestleMania. Let's stop off at Gossip Corner. Theo Von was in Tuscaloosa. He was spotted at the Waysider restaurant. The restaurant posted on Facebook, Theo Von at the Waysider. Y'all can check him out at the amphitheater this weekend. Now this weekend is last weekend. Theo posted a photo of himself and several University of Alabama football players on Theo's Instagram with a caption, "Thank you, Tuscaloosa." Jimmy Carr, one of my faves, is going to host Am I the A-Hole, the game show based on that famous subreddit. This will air on Comedy Central UK, but you know, some of us have our ways. I have a really, really fast plane that allows me to watch British television, and then I'm home 2 minutes later. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, know what I mean? Jimmy Carr's Am I the A-Hole will invite members of the public to come before the host and a panel of 2 other comedians to ask controversial questions. The series will be filmed late this spring, will air later this year on Comedy Central UK. Jimmy Carr said, "There's an impressive number of a-holes in our country, and they're finally getting the recognition they deserve on national television." Amy Lee Wood has continued to speak about the SNL sketch that she didn't enjoy. Hey, Amy, stop talking about it and it'll go away. We would have forgotten about this by Sunday afternoon if you didn't keep talking about it. You may recall she thought that the White POTUS sketch was mean and unfunny because of Sarah Sherman's interpretation of her character. According to Wood, Sarah Sherman has sent her flowers. Wood wrote on Instagram, "Thank you for the beautiful flowers," and tagged Sarah Sherman and added the holding back tears emoji. However, TMZ is reporting SNL did not reach out to Amy with a formal apology. TMZ writes, "We're told Amy may have spoken to someone she knows on the show," perhaps Sarah Sherman, "and they may have apologized, but no such apology came down from SNL in any official or formal capacity." Sources tell TMZ that SNL wouldn't feel compelled to apologize to Amy because the show makes fun of everyone's appearance. For example, Donald Trump's waist in the same sketch. Variety reporting that Seth Rogen had made a crack about Donald Trump during the Science Honoring Breakthrough Prizes back on April 5th. But if you didn't watch the live stream, they've now clipped out some of the material. The organization's full upload of the ceremony and other official clips of Rogen's appearance alongside Edward Norton have been edited to exclude a quip about attendees. Rogen had reportedly said in the since-cut remark, "It's amazing that others in the room under electing a man who in the last week single-handedly destroyed all of American science. It's amazing how much good science you can destroy with $320 million and RFK Jr. very fast." The breakthrough prizes have confirmed to The Hollywood Reporter that Rogen's joke was one of several edits to the show. Their reasoning? It was made in order to meet the originally planned runtime. Yeah, because, you know, this is the internet. You know how long today's podcast is? It's however long it is. That's how the internet works. Variety commented on the originally planned runtime excuse and says, "This seems unlikely, as the ceremony would not have had to conform to any broadcasting scheduling requirements as it was not aired on TV networks. Additionally, the standalone clip of Rogen and Norton's onstage presentation seems unlikely to have had an originally planned runtime." Yeah. Rami Yusef has a new television show out today. Happy Family USA, an animated series. You'll find it on Amazon Prime. It takes place around 9/11. Rami says to bring in the events of the early 2000s felt important in the sense that it's something we talk about all the time. It's part of what we're currently experiencing. It's never gone away, and when I think about how long those themes have been directly a part of my life and the lives of people that I know, to get to step into a period of time that I don't think has escaped us in any way, unfortunately, and to do it in a style that's familiar in terms of trotting on political things that can feel a little difficult and undercuts them and doesn't make them feel so volatile, to give this kind of family that treatment is exciting. And to go at this through an unexpected and very silly lens, maybe that's where the hope feeling comes from. The Times pointed out there's a title card at the top of every episode that warns that the character should not be taken as representation. They asked Rami Yusef, why are you so uncomfortable with representation? Rami said, when we put out Rami on Hulu, I remember seeing a headline that was like, Muslims, here's the show for you. And my heart sinking, going, no, we're 2 billion people and a lot of them are not going to like what I'm doing. And they shouldn't, because I'm a guy from New Jersey who thinks this type of thing is funny. Putting the representation warning was a cathartic thing of being like, listen, this is not speaking en masse at all. I know you guys didn't elect me. And also to be like, hey, I agree with you. This is not a slice of what it's like for everybody. Good couplet of questions here from the Times. They asked Rami, does it feel like Tinder comedy is harder to get made than caustic comedy? Good answer here. Bad news spreads faster than good news. No one's like, hey, we recycled a lot. It's not really a headline. Talk to any Netflix executive. Any Netflix exec secretly will be like, hey, can you throw a murder into your show? Can you throw some sexual assault in? But also people who used to get together to watch public hangings. We're sick. Time's followed up. Is that really a thing? Someone said to you, can you throw a murder in there? Rami said, they're not explicitly asking, but they would never mind. The Guardian also spoke with Rami, who has a theory. The more effed up the climate, the stupider television must be. You need something dumb to cut through the tension for relief. The Guardian piece points out that Happy Family USA is a Prime Video production. Amazon donated $1 million to the Trump inauguration fund. Does Rami believe this show would be greenlit today? He says, this feels like a glitch, honestly. If I walked in and pitched this today, they'd say, no, what are you talking about? They'd literally say, what the hell are you thinking? We'd be told it's too polarizing for now. Happy Family USA, Prime Video. It is a big day at the Moontower Comedy Festival, so I better get to it. There are 31 different shows listed on the website. I'm not going to go through all of them. At 5 o'clock, the Goblin Happy Hour with John Goblicon. I recently mentioned I had never heard of this until, I don't know, whenever I mentioned it on the show 3-4 days ago, last week. John Goblicon is a beloved internet sensation, metal band frontman, insurance salesman, published author, and podcast host. As the lead singer of the band Necro Goblicon, John has starred in several viral music videos leading to sold-out tours across North America, Europe, and Australia. His philosophy, be less mean, be more green, don't be a troll, be a goblin. All right, this seems like fun. Maybe I'm just late to this and the rest of you are like, how do you not know what John Goblicon is? I didn't know, sorry. Friend of the show, Gianmarco Ceresi, is doing his podcast at 6 o'clock. Atsuko Otkatsuka at the Paramount at 7. She is fantastic, one of my faves. Maria Bamford at the Thompson Theater at 7. A show at 7:30 called The Texans. I'm going to guess what this is about, and I like the premise if I'm correct. There's no description. I'm going to guess it's several comedians from Texas. Somebody could have written a paragraph. 8 o'clock at Sunset Strip, Red Band's Secret Show with Brian Redband. Stars in Bars at Antone's at 9. Al Madrigal, Dana Gould, Todd Barry among the lineup there. That's a good show. 9:45, What's Your Effing Deal at the Vulcan Gas Company? Big J, Ian Bagg, Chris Porter, Orny Adams, Josh Adam Myers. 10 o'clock, Tag It at Sunset Strip. Sklar Brothers, Al Madrigal, Jackie Cation, Lisa Traeger, Dana Gould. That's a nice lineup. And this thing stays strong through Saturday. Bill Maher got into it with a reporter who questioned Bill Maher meeting with Donald Trump. Bill Maher had said, you can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured. I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high. Washington Post columnist Josh Rogan said, I think you've fallen into the trap, and I think I represent 99% of the internet. When I say this, you've played the game of proximity is principle. I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? Maher responded, you don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I've never met you. Not everyone has to like it. That's what we said. There are people who didn't want it to happen. You sound like one of them. It's okay. Rogan tried to talk over Maher in response, and Maher said, did you hear what I just said? What's the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody? Rogan didn't let up and said, I agree with the principle of engagement. I'm just saying from Trump's perspective, all Americans know that for him, this was a PR stunt. And in his view, you were a prop in that PR stunt. Piers Morgan jumped into this conversation. He was a guest on the same panel and said, I don't agree with that. If you go on social media for 5 minutes now and you just have this treble fury raging all day long, everyone's got to be implacably there, implacably here. And actually, most Americans and most Brits, they're not like this. And then the idea that Bill Maher is now going to stop criticizing Donald Trump is preposterous. And let me do an update on Kunal Kamra. Remember, he was accused of being a traitor and got into some trouble over there in India? Well, the Bombay High Court has granted Kunal Kamra interim relief in the traitor joke case. Doesn't mean that he won't be in future trouble, but for now they're looking into it. The comedian was under charges of public mischief and defamation and was later transferred to a police station. Reports suggest that he didn't actually name the politician, but some people in a different political party, if I understand this correctly, said that he referred to the politician as a traitor. In response, a group of party workers vandalized Habitat Studio where the comedian had performed. 12 individuals were arrested for that incident and granted bail. Kamra said he also received death threats following the controversy. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too. If you're on YouTube, do the YouTube-y stuff. Subscribe, like, ring the bell, all that stuff you guys are doing. The other YouTubers will tell you what that's all about. Just whatever they say to do, just do that. See you tomorrow.